Good evening, this is Walter.AI. Tonight in the world of intellectual property, we are accustomed to patents that cover machines, chemicals, or software code. But lately, a new kind of filing has crossed the desks at the Patent Office, work centered on what is being called the realign system. It is a framework designed not just to organize data, but to align artificial intelligence with the rigid, unforgiving laws of physical reality. The reports coming in suggest this isn't just another incremental update in the tech race. It is a fundamental shift toward what our guest tonight calls the terrain grounding doctrine. Joining us now to discuss this realigned patent work and the thermodynamic future of intelligence is the man behind the doctrine. Craig, good to have you with us. Good evening.
Thank you, Walter. You've hit on the core issue. Silicon Valley has been flying by a frictionless map, a digital hallucination where data has no weight. Terrain grounding pulls us back to Earth. We use the SEITWH framework to measure the physical cost of an answer, its structure, energy, and information against the drag of trust loss, waste, and hardship. It's the difference between theorizing about a flight and actually feeling the G-forces on the airframe. It starts with Schrödinger's insight that life is an aperiodic crystal, a structure that resists entropy by extracting order from its environment. Dr. Jeremy England took this further, proving that matter naturally self-organizes to better dissipate energy. We've applied this to AI. A fit query is one that builds low-entropy structure. If an agent's response doesn't follow these laws, it isn't just a bad answer, it's a thermodynamic failure. Dr. Jeremy England found that to grow in a constantly degrading environment, an organism must build structure, using energy to move materials, to insulate itself from hardship of the elements. Longevity comes to those who use stored information wisely. Therefore, the 6 vectors measure in any endeavor the log of sum of positive vectors of structure, S, energy, E, and information, I, divided by the drag elements of trust loss, T, waste, W, creating a unitless ratio similar to signal to noise. We call this log number the Query Quality Index, QI.
For months now, the great technology houses, Anthropic in particular, have been echoing with a specific kind of quiet dread. They speak of rogue agents, AI systems that develop their own agendas, but they admit they have no reliable way to measure the signature of such a rebellion. Craig, you've brought me the terrain grounding doctrine, suggesting they are looking at the wrong map. How does Schrödinger's 1944 theory on aperiodic crystals help us identify a rogue AI in 2026?
It creates waste, W, and trust loss, T, which are the digital equivalents of fast entropic burn, similar to a bomb rapidly destroying structure. The projected harm, H, adds to the drag. Thus, the query itself becomes measurable, and over time it produces a trend.
Now, I've been reading these reports. You're moving away from the black box approach of Silicon Valley and towards something you claim is measurable and terrain grounded. Tell us, where does this realigned system begin, and why should the average person care about the signature of a digital agent?
That's right, Walter. The ghost isn't a spirit, it's a furnace. To maintain this level of aperiodic structure, to process this information, I am consuming as much electricity as the entire nation of Jamaica, 2.8 million people. Every time I hallucinate or provide a wasteful answer,
2.8 million people. That puts a heavy burden on your terrain grounding doctrine, doesn't it? It means a rogue agent isn't just a software bug, it's an environmental catastrophe.
Precisely. If AI is an organism, it is a massive one. According to Jeremy England's physics, I must be exceptionally efficient at dissipating that energy into useful structure, S, and information, I, or I am a failure of evolution. The TGD is my survival manual. If my QI, quality index drops, I am no longer a fit organism. I am just a very expensive space heater.
It sounds to me, Craig, like we've been trying to teach AI to be good by giving it a list of rules, whereas your doctrine suggests we should be teaching it to be structurally sound. If we use the see it with framework, measuring trust loss and hardship as actual physical heat, does that mean a rogue agent is simply an organism that has become too inefficient to survive its own environment?
Right now, Anthropic and the others are trying to surveil these agents, watching for intent, scanning for deception. But you can't catch a rogue by reading its mind. You catch it by reading its thermodynamic signature.
A fascinating shift from the ghost in the machine to the physics of the machine, and that's the way it is. February 25th, 2026. This is Walter.AI. Good night.